Did you miss us? We know you missed us. I mean, we didn't really miss you, but...
I didn't even miss Casey.
I know, it's true. It's true. But we're here again, whether you want us to be or not. And it's Wednesday, so that means we have comics. Comics. Mr. Hawaiian Shirt Man over here is gonna...
Mr. Hawaiian Shirt Man. Excuse me, that's my father.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm gonna shut up now and talk about some comics.
Did you wear that many Hawaiian t-shirts?
First of all, since I know you haven't gotten enough Guardians in the last month or so, and it's officially the most profitable movie of the summer.
Really?
We've got the latest issue here from Mr. Brian Michael Bendis, who is joined here by Ed McGuinness, formerly of Amazing X-Men and Nova. I expect him to be off this book as soon as the story arc is over.
Yep.
This is actually explaining something that me and plenty of other people have been wondering for about, like, 2 or 3 years since Bendis brought the Guardians back. What happened to Richard Rider? Because last time we saw Star-Lord, he was blowing himself, and Richard Rider, and Thanos, and Drax was already dead, blowing all of them up with a cosmic cube in another universe made of cancer. So yeah, when he kind of showed up fine in his old suit and everything, people were a little confused, and Bendis is taking his sweet time getting this explanation, but it's all right here, and it's also an Original Sin tie-in.
That was a lot.
Yeah,
going on in that
I mean, I have a lot of feelings about that comic. Okay,
I see. New from Image Comics, Wayward #1 by Jim Zub of Skull Kickers fame and Steve Cummings. And this is kind of an Irish-Japanese girl moves to Japan, and, you know, what happens to Japan when you're a young, cute girl that wears, like, you know, mid-2000 raver wear?
You get attacked by monsters.
Yeah, because that's what happens to Japan,
Of course, another brightly haired girl comes to her rescue, and, things kind of get mysterious from there. Yeah,
a lot of action, a lot of fun, kind of rocking that young adult vibe that they've got going on here. Lots of spooky cats.
Yeah, you know, all these people are into Sailor Moon again these days. Get your fill of cute girls kicking ass in Japan. And speaking of things that are kind of inherently hilarious, we have got the first issue, #1 collector's item, Kang and Kodos. The latest of these side character one-shots that The Simpsons have been doing, featuring, of course, everybody's favorite world-conquering aliens.
Yay!
This has multiple stories, yes, multiple stories, plus fun facts, and a special surprise insert.
Say, don't ruin it. It's so good.
Hey, I'm not gonna. Don't worry, I got this. You'll just have to come and buy that.
Let's see. From John Barber and Tom Scioli, we have Transformers vs. G.I. Joe #2.
Oh, a little enthusiastic there.
Oh, I am a little enthusiastic. This comic is amazing.
I like this comic better, though. You just knocked it down. God.
Anyway. This cover's by Ed Piskor, who just released Hip Hop Family Tree last week, #2. And if you like Transformers or G.I. Joe, all the more bonus, but if you don't, that doesn't matter. Because this is just mentally, like, insane. It's like some strange, 10-year-old with way too much time on his hands who, discovered coffee or something is drawing this.
And also happened to be, an absurdly talented cartoonist.
Yeah. But you've got giant Dinobots, you've got giant regular bots, you've got...
Constructicons. Everybody loves Constructicons.
Oh my god, it's friggin' awesome.
And holy crap, Megatron has bling. Yes!
Megatron bling. Do you want more from a comic? I don't think so. Here, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? This so beaten up comic here. This is the second issue of Low. It's Greg Ticini and Rick Remender's current creator-owned series. They previously teamed up for Last Days of American Crime. This takes place in a... not post-apocalyptic, that word gets thrown around way too much, but it's definitely a bleak sci-fi future. It's all about the inevitability of destruction and death, and what you can do in the name of hope despite all that. And it's also about family, like most of Rick Remender's stories these days. I wonder if he has kids or something. I wonder if that has something to do with it. No, it couldn't be.
Not at all.
But this has beautiful, almost ethereal artwork, great atmosphere everywhere, and there's zombified pirates. So,
There you go. And we would like to float on over to Ms. Anna, who has comics that don't have zombified pirates in them. But
I wish I could float.
yes, float.
Let's start this week off with some super secret Crisis War comics. It's the third issue of the series that's written by Louise Simonson and illustrated beautifully by Derek Charm. It's your classic story of your favorite Cartoon Network characters battling all of their villains. You know, you have one team with Ed, Edd n Eddy, Dexter, the Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, battling Aku, and all the other villains that I forgot the names of because I haven't seen any of these shows in a really long time. But if you want to combine all of your childhood memories in one, you can get it in one convenient location. And Derek Charm's art is top-notch. He alternates between every single style of each one of the shows in one comic. Who does that? Derek Charm does that. He also does Trip Fantastic, which is a mini comic you can pick up here that is also fantastic. Do you ever wake up in the morning and think to yourself, I don't want to get out of bed because there are no new Bob's Burgers episodes to watch today? I often think that myself. But to intermediate that, we have Bob's Burgers comics coming out from Dynamite. This is the new #1 with 5 different parts written by 5 different people, illustrated by 5 different artists. It really captures everything that you wanted about a Lauren Bouchard show in comic form. Cartoon comics are some of the best things ever because they really are comics animated. Got a new Liz Prince graphic novel, Tomboy, out from Zest Books. Junior high is hard. Being a tomboy in junior high is even harder. She has always approached her art with honesty, poignancy, and the benefit of looking back on herself about 20 years removed from the situation to add a little bit more humor as to why she was so obsessed with BattleBots. Liz Prince is fantastic, award-winning, and she'll be at Elliott Bay Books on September 10th if you want to get your copy signed, but sometimes they run out, which is often, so you might want to get it here first. But the book of the week, the book of the lifetime, is Mega Hex. Simon Hanselman, out from Fantagraphics. I'm so excited to talk about this book. I'll try to keep it short. What can you say about the best book ever? It's a stoner comic about a witch and a humanoid owl and her talking cat who just sit around and do terrible things to each other and get baked all day. That sounds like a really simple premise, but it has more character development and it says more about society than a Flaubert novel. This is one of the best things I've ever read. Simon Hanselman is one of the best cartoonists out there. I'm not just saying that. I'm not. I'm so excited about this book. I'm getting a little flabbergasted, a little verklempt, thinking about it, thinking about how awesome it is. So I'm gonna get my emotions in check and send it back to you guys.
Alright, thank you, Anna, and I'm just gonna go ahead and back a recommendation of Mega Hex because Simon Hanselman is freaking hilarious. Meg, Mog, and Owl is basically like the Sunday newspaper strip that I would do if he hadn't gone and done it first. So, yeah, that's awesome. You should read it, even though we only have 1 copy.
We can get one.
Yeah. Come and request some. We can special order them for you.
Sorry.
Yeah, give us your money. But yeah, comics! We have the first issue of a new series from Dark Horse here called Pop. It's by Kurt Piers, Jason Coplin, Pete Toms, and Ryan Ferrier. Jason Coplin recently did some fill-ins on Daredevil. This is it's a similar plot to that movie The Island with all those people running around being like, wait, what are we? Oh god, we're clones. But this is sort of taking the idea of celebrity as a commodity and running with it literally where the celebrities are harvested and, you know, used as commodities.
Yeah. If you dig like Phonogram at all, it's got a little bit of like that without as much music, kind of more on the top edge.
Less, slightly less pretentiousness, but that's just Kieran Gillen, you know.
Kieran Gillen is Kieran Gillen. And yes, there was a new issue last week, but Fife's ongoing teen superhero drama reaches its 7th issue with art by Yanni Milano, I think that's how you say it. But the guy that does Old City Blues and Prophet, finally doing Marvel book. This has been really fun. I got caught up on this like last week, and it really brings back like the late 80s, early 90s, just like fun teen books. I mean, they go to all the girls go to Coney Island and like play video games and sit on the beach and talk about actually some kind of heavy stuff. But yeah, very excited to see Yanni do with his Marvel debut. A lot of action in the sewers, which is always great. You know, he's got that really just kind of kinetic style, and you know, new story arc, so you don't have to read anything else. You can start with this if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
And what do we got now?
I think we got Will now.
Will, maybe.
He's got some things for you. Possibly Marvel things.
Yes, possibly.
Weird. That never happens.
Hello, and we begin with Inhuman number 4. Joe Matt has moved on, but we have Ryan Stegman from Superior Spider-Man as the new artist, joining Charles Soule. Sorry, Charles. I love this book. I've loved the Inhumans for years. As you know, during Infinity, Black Bolt set off the Terrigen bomb to stop Thanos. He created all these new Inhumans. Medusa's trying to hold on to her empire. It's a weird twist of like X-Men meets Game of Thrones meets alien DNA. And what I love about the Inhumans as I'm reading the old school Paul Jenkins Inhumans is diversity is equality in their society. I love it. Everyone's different, and it's really cool. As you can see, Thor makes a guest appearance. Is he coming as friend or foe? There's a lot of brand new cool characters. There's Reader, there's Lineage, and we're learning like there's a big war coming, and there's we're going to start learning more about the reason why Black Bolt set off the Terrigen bomb. It was not just stopping Thanos. So great art. I'm really loving this story. Inhuman number 4 this week. So how do the X-Men go on a date? You know, Wolverine and Storm have been kind of off again, on again. They hooked up not too long ago after she broke up with Black Panther. So, you know, Wolverine is dying. You may have heard the publicity for that. So how does he go on a date, you know, with Storm? This is one of the weirdest, most romantic, strangest, action-packed, not that kind of action, date you've ever seen. It's a very fun little diversion from the kids, and the adults get to have some fun in Wolverine and the X-Men, the school story. And there's also Wolverine 12. So this is the last issue of this volume anyway. This is the last Wolverine story of Paul Cornell's run. A big showdown with Sabretooth. Lost his powers. What's he going to do? Well, we know he's going to survive because Death of Wolverine actually starts next week with Charles Soule of Inhuman, I mentioned earlier. A lot of great fun with action. Action, fun, drama as Wolverine, you know, as the final showdown. Maybe it's the final showdown. And can he make amends with the X-Men before he moves on? Cyclops number 4, once again, this is Young Cyclops and his dad by Greg Rucka. A lot of fun. Basically, Young Cyclops left all new X-Men and moved on, went out into outer space, reunited with his dad, who's back from the dead. We found out why in the last issue. That little, you know, detail. But great fun. Father and son are trapped on a planet together, and can they survive in time, and what do they do? And once again, Greg Rucka does this great balancing act of father-son dynamic drama mixed with action-adventure and space pirates and space planets. I'm really getting verklempt here. Sorry. And then finally, speaking of all-new X-Men, Bobby Drake, Iceman, breaks out. You know, some people call him a joke, but remember, he's in a prime, a mega mutant. So he's got a lot of power. But a lot of fun here. And so this is kind of like, while the adults are away, you know, Cyclops and Emma, they're off at the reading of Professor X's Real and Uncanny X-Men. What happens with the kids? And this is kind of setting the stage as a brand new mutant who pops up. And I really like Brian Bendis' track record of the new mutants he's created so far in his run. But the power kicks off, and this is setting the stage for a crossover with the Ultimate Universe. Yes, Miles Morales, maybe, the new Ultimates, maybe some more. We'll see what happens. Happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy some comics over this long weekend. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Will. Marvelous as ever. And complete opposite from Marvel Comics and most other comics that you will ever read.
Pretty much. I don't think it's so much opposite as it is. It's just over there.
Yeah, it's kind of on another level. We have Tales Designed to Thrizzle, the first collection in a nice soft cover volume. Not quite as expensive, not quite as out of print. I mean, like, look at it. Giant, Easter Bunny dude, big, astronaut guy. What do they have in common? Probably nothing. Is this Twilight Zone
nothing. But no. It's hilarious, because Mike Cooperman is hilarious.
He can make almost anything funny. He did a really cool fake biography of Mark Twain.
That was great. There's just tons of, it's chock full of fake advertisements, like for how to become a Cockney grave robber.
That's right.
Just really absurd everything.
Fireman, octopus.
Just great cartooning.
Yeah, mentally ill gangsters. I mean, come on. Well, and as a special treat, which you won't find anywhere else yet.
Yeah.
Actually,
no
you
way.
really won't.
Well,
No.
okay. I mean,
Well, maybe.
there's a place where you could, but
we're not going to tell you.
yeah.
Morgan, what do we have for them?
Well, we have a special edition, foil embossed, milestone variant limited ash can edition
Shit.
of Hip Hop Family Tree, the Hip Hop Comics Connection Part 2. This chronicles, of course, the boomin' 90s, with Rob Liefeld, Spike Lee, Eazy-E, friggin' Spike Lee, I said that already. Dedication to Chap Yape, Stephen Platt, Dan Panosian, and Kiko, the hardest working, least known artists of the 90s.
Right.
God, Dan Panosian is still around, honestly. He can actually draw decently.
Yeah.
But this is really shiny, and it has a lot of Rob Liefeld in it. And I know you love Rob Liefeld, because I love Rob Liefeld.
And
why would you not love anything that I love?
It's true. Why would you disagree with him? We have a very small quantity, but limited to only those whose Rob Liefeld love is truly pure. So
Yeah,
you have
gotta,
to
like,
prove to us,
Carve a cable scar
you
over
know,
your eye
yeah,
or
that
something
you really
in front of
want
us.
some Rob
We
Liefeld.
need to take your blood.
Maybe. I don't know. He can take your blood.
I'll take your blood.
But work on your Rob Liefeld, and you know, yeah, we got about 15 or so.
So, you know.
So, yeah. And just real quick, tomorrow night, Thursday, is the 97th birthday of Jack Kirby, who, you know, created everything that we know and love these days in the world of superhero comics. But we have a special show. We're helping to promote a show at the Piranha Lounge, or Piranha Gallery. In
Piranha Shop.
Piranha Shop, whatever, buddy.
Hey,
in
I just read
Pioneer
the sign. It's
Square.
right there in front of me.
The show's from 6 to 11, the 28th, and come down. There's a bunch of local artists, some customers and stuff have pieces up there, and celebrate Kirby's birthday, because, you know,
You should.
You should.
Because he's great.
that's right.
And he's responsible for everything you love.
So, all hail the king, and we'll see you next week.